Ladies and gentlemen, trust is the foundation of every meaningful relationship, whether it's with a friend, a partner, or even family. But what happens when that trust is shattered? Some betrayals are so deep, so damaging, that forgiving them doesn't heal you, it weakens you. Today, we're not talking about small mistakes or misunderstandings. We're talking about the kind of betrayals that change you forever, the ones that should never be forgiven. Because some people, once they show you who they truly are, don't deserve a second chance. Let's talk about the 7 betrayals that demand not just your distance, but your absolute refusal to forgive. Betrayal is a lesson, not a life sentence. Betrayal has a way of shaking you to your core. It's not just about broken trust, it's about the emotional scars left behind. When someone betrays you, it's easy to fall into the trap of endless forgiveness, thinking that letting go means healing. But the truth is, not every betrayal deserves to be forgiven. Some wounds are meant to teach you, not to be reopened over and over again. When someone lies, deceives, or breaks their promises in a way that deeply affects your well-being, you must ask yourself, is this person truly sorry, or are they just afraid of losing me? There's a difference between a mistake and a pattern. A mistake happens once, a pattern is a choice. And when someone repeatedly chooses to betray you, they are teaching you a lesson not about their character, but about what you should tolerate. Too often we forgive because we fear confrontation, loneliness, or the guilt of cutting someone off. But in reality, holding on to a betrayer only prolongs the pain. True healing doesn't come from pretending everything is fine. It comes from learning, adapting, and making sure you don't let the same person hurt you twice. So remember this, betrayal is not a life sentence. It's a moment of revelation. It shows you who truly values you and who only values what they can get from you. And once you see the truth, you have a choice: either let the lesson strengthen you or let the pain define you. Some wrongs reshape who you are. There are betrayals that you can move past, and then there are the ones that change you forever. These aren't just mistakes, they're turning points. They force you to see people differently, to question your own judgment, and to redefine what trust really means. Maybe it was a friend who shared your deepest secret, a partner who broke a sacred vow, or a family member who let you down when you needed them the most. These betrayals don't just hurt in the moment, they alter the way you see relationships moving forward. You stop trusting as easily. You build walls. You hesitate before opening up again. Not because you want to, but because experience has taught you that not everyone deserves your openness. People often say, just forgive and forget, but forgetting is a dangerous thing. Some betrayals serve as warnings, reminders that not everyone who smiles at you has your best interests at heart. If you forgive without learning, you risk walking into the same trap twice. Forgiveness should never come at the cost of your own self-respect. Understand this: the pain of betrayal may shape you, but it does not have to break you. It is not a sign that you should stop trusting altogether, but rather a lesson in where to place your trust wisely. The key is not to let the wrongs of others turn you into someone bitter, but to let them sharpen your wisdom. Because once you've been betrayed in a way that changes you, you will never be the same again, and that's not always a bad thing. Respect yourself enough to walk away. There comes a moment in life when you have to make a choice, not about them, but about you. Someone has hurt you, broken your trust, and shown you through their actions that they don't value you the way they should. And yet, you hesitate. You wonder if you should forgive, if you should give them another chance, if maybe, just maybe, they'll change. But here's the truth. The moment someone betrays you in a deep and unforgivable way, they have already made their choice. They chose their own selfish desires over your trust. They chose their needs over your feelings. And once that choice is made, it says everything about them and everything about what you should do next. Walking away is not about pride. It's not about punishing the other person. It's about self-respect. When you continue to allow someone in your life who has proven they will hurt you, you're sending yourself a message: my feelings don't matter as much as theirs. My pain is less important than keeping this relationship alive. But that's not true. You deserve to be treated with kindness, loyalty, and honesty, no less. The hardest part of walking away isn't leaving them behind, it's leaving behind the hope that they will change. The hope that they will wake up one day and realize what they lost. But that's not your responsibility. Change is a personal decision. And some people will never make it. The more chances you give, the more you teach them that their betrayals come without consequences. Real strength isn't in enduring pain, it's in refusing to let someone treat you like an option when you deserve to be a priority. The people who truly love and respect you will never put you in a position where you have to question their loyalty. And the ones who do, they are telling you loud and clear that they are not worthy of your time, energy, or forgiveness. So respect yourself enough to walk away. Not because you're bitter, not because you want revenge, but because you owe yourself peace. And sometimes, the only way to find peace is to close the door on those who refuse to treat you right. Not everyone deserves a second chance. We are often told that forgiveness is a virtue, that giving people another chance is a sign of kindness and strength. But what if I told you that sometimes the strongest thing you can do is not give a second chance? Some betrayals don't deserve redemption, not because you're heartless, but because the person who hurt you has already shown you who they are. Think about it. A person who truly cares about you will go out of their way to protect your trust, not destroy it. If someone has betrayed you in a way that shattered your faith in them, do they really deserve the opportunity to do it again? Too many people mistake forgiveness for an invitation to repeat their mistakes. And when you let them back in, you're not just risking more pain, you're teaching them that their actions have no consequences. There's a difference between someone who makes a genuine mistake and someone who makes a choice knowing it will hurt you. A mistake comes with regret, change, and an effort to make things right. A choice comes with excuses, broken promises, and a pattern of repeated behavior. The person who truly values you will take responsibility, not just with words, but with consistent actions. The one who doesn't, they'll apologize just enough to keep you close, but never enough to actually change. Holding on to someone who has betrayed you once in a serious way is like holding on to a knife by the blade. Eventually, you'll be the one who gets cut the deepest. Forgiving someone does not mean you have to let them back into your life. You can wish them well, you can move forward without hatred, but you can also protect yourself from further harm. So before you give someone a second chance, ask yourself, have they truly changed, or are they just afraid of losing me? Because real change doesn't come from fear, it comes from self-awareness and accountability. And if they haven't shown that, they don't deserve another chance to break you. Silence is a response, and distance is a solution. Not every betrayal needs an argument. Not every wound needs an explanation. Sometimes, the most powerful response is no response at all. When someone has shown you that they cannot be trusted, that they do not respect you, and that they are willing to hurt you without remorse, there is no point in pleading for an apology or trying to make them understand your pain. Silence speaks louder than words. It tells the betrayer everything they need to know, that you will not waste your energy on someone who has already devalued your trust. Many people, after betraying you, will expect a reaction. They want a confrontation, an emotional outburst, a fight where they can twist the narrative and make you feel like the problem. They want your anger because anger still means you care. But when you walk away in silence, when you remove yourself without explanation, they are left with the weight of their own actions. Distance is the greatest teacher. It does something that words never can. It forces a person to reflect. Some will realize what they lost, But more often than not, they will simply move on to their next victim, proving that their betrayal was never about you, but about their own character. This is why cutting ties with certain people is not an act of cruelty, it is an act of self-preservation. When someone betrays you in a way that cannot be forgiven, your peace of mind must come first. You do not owe them closure, you do not owe them another conversation, and you certainly do not owe them your continued presence in their life. The moment they broke your trust, they forfeited the privilege of having access to you. Some betrayals are so deep that keeping the betrayer in your life only invites more pain. This is where distance becomes your greatest ally. It allows you to heal without their influence, without their manipulations, without their justifications. It gives you the space to rebuild yourself, to regain your strength, and to remember who you were before they hurt you. The hardest part of walking away is resisting the urge to explain yourself. You may feel the need to make them understand what they did, to hear them admit their fault, or to get closure from them. But here's the truth: closure is not something they can give you. It's something you give yourself. It happens when you realize that no apology, no explanation, no amount of remorse will undo what was done. So let your silence be your answer. Let your distance be your protection. The people who betray you in unforgivable ways do not deserve access to your life, your emotions, or your energy. Remove them completely and watch how much lighter your soul becomes.